Hey you! Yes, you! Have you ever been in a situation where you've come across conflict and struggled to deal with it in a healthy manner? Do you ever find yourself in situations where you wish you were more assertive? Maybe. When facing a situation of conflict, you're the quiet one, and everybody else seems to be talking over you. You end up not feeling like a valuable part of the conversation, and it's just not a good place to be. So then maybe you decide that the next time you're in that situation again, you'll finally speak up for yourself to get your ideas heard. You have strong opinions about something, so you're much more outspoken than usual. But as soon as somebody dismisses your idea or disagrees with you, you feel disrespected, so you chuck them out the window, figuratively, or maybe even literally. Probably not the best way to go about things either. So then you decide, okay, maybe I'm being too aggressive. Time to be a good listener and not be too pushy with my opinions. So here you are, putting on a fake smile as you hold yourself back from saying what you really want to say. And instead of sharing your thoughts and opinions with others, you say stuff like, I'm fine. Yeah, okay. I don't mind. No worries. Until your not feeling heard-o-meter reaches its limit and you explode. Probably not the best way to go about things either. See, the struggle with being assertive is, most of us don't know what being assertive actually means. We tend to swing from one extreme to the other, whether we're being too passive or too aggressive. And so sometimes we think the best way to deal with things is to find the middle ground. But what ends up happening is we become passive aggressive. So then what the heck do you do? In other words, how do you handle this? And what does it actually mean to be assertive? Well, let's imagine a 2x2 table here, with headings at the top, I win, I lose, and you win, you lose on the left-hand side. When you care more about the other person getting the outcome that they want, rather than a positive outcome for you, you're being passive. You're thinking, I lose, you win. When you only care about the outcome you want, with no regard for the other person's opinion, you're being aggressive. You're thinking, I win, you lose. When you allow the other person to get what they want and you want to let them know you're not happy with the outcome but you don't want to be seen as aggressive, then you're being passive-aggressive, which really is just a lose-lose situation. So as you've probably already guessed, being assertive is when you care about both outcomes. You're seeking a win-win situation. But let's look at this table from a slightly different perspective and shift things around a little bit. You can see here that this assertiveness table fits within the pendulum diagram that we showed earlier, and this is where most people stay. So the lesson to be learned here is to not be on the pendulum at all. The key to being assertive in a communication is rising above it all, to seek a win-win scenario for all parties involved. Now you might be thinking, with great skepticism, yeah, that's all great in theory, mate, but how do I actually apply this in a real-life situation? Well, according to psychologist Karen Ravik, there are 5 steps to communicate assertively. The first is to understand the situation. Then describe the situation objectively to the other person. Express your concerns, and then ask the other person for their perspective and work together towards an acceptable change. Then, once change is implemented, list the benefits to the situation and the relationship. Now I know what you're thinking. That's a simple model, but it's not always easy to apply in the heat of the moment. So here's an exercise that you can do to start building that assertiveness muscle. What you need to do first is assess your communication style. Do you default towards any of these unhealthy response patterns that we've discussed? Think about past interactions that you've had and write them down in a journal, and then question how you behaved during the time. Were you passive, aggressive, passive-aggressive? And once you've done that, brainstorm some ways on how you can improve your level of assertiveness in those interactions. And then practice. Practice how you would have approached these interactions if you are behaving in a more assertive manner. Practice by yourself, with a friend, and then eventually with low-risk, real-life situations. It'll be tough at the start, but over time, your assertive communication muscle will grow stronger and stronger. And when it does, you'll start to see some benefits, like reduced interpersonal conflict in your life, and as a result, reduced stress overall, and thus, greater mental health.